on the various platforms. And for those of you watching or listening to at a later date, welcome as well. Thank you. Tonight, it's just me, no guest, flying solo, kind of improv it. Actually, Grace has the night off. She's attending what did she say? It's a trampoline hula hoop class. Not sure or hula hoop trampoline. Not sure what it is exactly, but she did ask for some money out of petty cash to get some, what's it called? Dry graphite lubricant. I don't know what that's about. But I hope she'll be back next week. This is a trial class for her. Like if she wants to sign up, then what can happen is she will if she wants to sign up, it'll be on Wednesdays or something like that. So that's the story. So it's just me. So feel free to jump in on the chat. I think I may have the chat kind of figured out, but do me a favor if you are jumping in on the chat. Go ahead and do me a favor and put your name in and what page you're chatting from. So like, hi, this is, Jenny from YouTube, or, Bob from the Slinksitute page, or, Steve from the Eat and Drink and Be Merry page, or whatever. So I know who you are, so I can kind of figure out where we're at. And then I think I can dial it in for next week. So yeah, go ahead and jump on the chat, and I think I can get it kind of figured out. There's a little plug-in or whatever, but whatever. So today, we will be talking about every year I get a message, or some of my friends do, and it says, hey, Slink, give me some cool recipes for a Super Bowl party. And I know this year Super Bowl parties are going to be a little bit different, but I get it every year. And so my answer is kind of always the same, to the, do you have good recipes for a Super Bowl party? And my answer is always no. No, I don't. But I do have like 10 rules that I have put together for this type of party. Now, this doesn't have to be a Super Bowl party. Any kind of like group watch party thing where you have people over and everyone's trying to focus on one thing. Have it be, Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Finals, the World Series, whatever the basketball thing is called. But then again, you can also do the if you had everyone over to watch The Lord of the Rings, or the premiere of your favorite TV show, or, excuse me, to be disappointed by, the finale of Game of Thrones. This works for just having people over to watch a show. And I think so. The recipes is the easy part. You can find recipes. That's the easy part. What you want to do is find the right recipes and deal with it in the most correct way. And so this is what I do. And like I said, this works for every single kind of get together, have it be sports or anything where everyone's watching. It's like for me personally, I'm going on 7 years now. I have for the last 7 years hosted a badminton world finals. Me and a couple of friends get together. We watch the badminton world finals, but then we also do like a tasting of like appetizers and stuff at the same time. So it's kind of a thing that we do, the badminton finals with the tasting of the food. We call it shuttlecock in the mouth. And that's kind of like our thing. So this is kind of like how we work it too. So this is these rules and the mouth, not it, and the mouth. This is what we do for our thing. Do it for your Lord of the Rings party, whatever. So I'm going to pull up. I wrote this down on my phone, so it'd be easy to read. Okay, so these are my 10 watch party cooking rules. And here we go. Number 1, you need to find stuff that doesn't require attention. You want stuff that's going to sit in a crock pot, slow cooker, to be served cold or room temperature. Nothing that needs to be tended to, while this is happening. Okay. Number 2, you want stuff that you can eat on your lap, right? So if you have enough people over, you don't have settings for everybody. You want something that you can eat on your lap. So you need stuff that you can eat with your hands or with one utensil, just one. You don't want a fork and a knife situation. This is not going to work, okay? So you need stuff that can work with one utensil, fork, spoon, that's it, okay? This is a serve yourself type situation. This is, there should be no dinner time. There should be no like place settings. There should be no like, now is time to eat. No, this shit should be out all night. When you're hungry, you go, you get what you want, and you walk back in front of the TV and finish watching, Daenerys Targaryen turn into a different character in the last episode of your show. I'm not bitter about that at all. Let's see what else we got. If you can pull this off with paper plates or paper bowls and paper cups, do it. Come on. Nobody gives a shit. Do not bring out the fine china that your mom gave you because she was hoping to serve Sinatra or the Pope one day. This is just get the paper plate technology has come very, very far in the last 1,000 years. I mean, there are some paper plates and bowls that are more structurally sound than my actual stoneware. So just get this stuff. Do not worry about it. Sorry, recycle, reuse people. It's just a fact. Just do it. And if you can get away with like plastic forks and spoons and shit, do that too. All right. Let's see. Number 5, multi-use dishes. We want to do this. So you can make chili. You can have chili in a bowl. Put chili on top of a hot dog, right? That's 2 things you can do. Get the hot dogs just hanging out in a steamer, chili in the crock pot, make a bowl of chili, make yourself a chili dog. Bam. Good. That's 2 things you got right there. Coleslaw. Perfect side dish. Can be served cold or room temperature. Also good on pulled pork sandwich. Get your pulled pork going in the crock pot or whatever. Have the coleslaw sitting there. Multi-use dishes. Again, this is another key thing. And here's a good one. This is number 6. Tell your guests to bring stuff, but be specific. What you don't want is 9 pots of cowboy beans or like 11 onion dips or whatever. Be super specific on what it is that you want them to bring. And judge it by who you're inviting. Like the one single dude who lives alone, who just gets carry out, have him bring the tortilla chips and like the mixers, the Coke, Sprite, and tonic or something like that. Tool it to the person, but be specific. Make sure that you have all your bases covered. Don't give anybody anything, crazy, but stuff that fits in the other rules that we just talked about. So you want to have all that stuff happening. All right. So that was number 6. Let's see. Number 7, if people will be drinking, which if you're coming to my house, they will be, you're going to need some high density stuff here. We're talking meat. We're talking bread, that kind of jazz. This is not a time for like lots of salads or like, strawberries dipped in chocolate or what. This is no. You want some structure. You want something that's hearty. Going to soak up some stuff in there. That's kind of what you want to do for this kind of party. Don't get me wrong. If you're having a vegan party, I guess adjust accordingly. I don't know what the vegan equivalent to meat is. Beans, maybe? Is it beans? I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. Feel free to chime in on that one. I would have no idea. Let's see what else. Hey, oh yeah, nobody wants dessert. Number 8, nobody wants dessert. Nobody cares. People are going to say, I'll bring dessert. Don't let them bring dessert. Nobody wants dessert. They never do. They'll eat it maybe, but nobody wants dessert. And nobody wants brownies or a pie or cookies. They'll just have another taquito, man. They'll have another chili dog. You're watching the goddamn football game, or you're watching Samwise carry Frodo into Mount Doom, man. You don't want, just don't do dessert. Don't do it. And if someone says, oh no, I make a really mean fritter strudel, just, you know what, honey, just bring potato salad instead. Seriously. I mean, this is, I know I'm going to get some guff on this one, but that's 100% true. Just don't worry about dessert. Don't worry about it. Okay. 9 and 10 are my 2 most important ones. Okay. Number 9, do not freak out if something's been out a little long. Okay. You are not going to get polio if the buffalo dip drops below 90 degrees. It's not going to happen. Relax. Okay. There is nothing you can serve that, if cooked properly in the first place, over the course of an evening, will give you botulism or AIDS or salmon. There's not happening. Relax. If it starts to taste gross, throw it away. Or, save it for making something, like if the chicken wings got rubbery, throw them in the fridge and then make stock out of them tomorrow or something like that. But do not freak out. Oh, it's got mayo in it. But Slink, it's got mayo in it. Nobody cares. Mayo's not going to kill you. Doesn't matter. Is it baking in the 110 degree sun out, for 7 hours? No, it's in your air conditioned home and it's mixed in with a lot of other shit. You're fine. Relax. Don't freak out if stuff's been out a little long. Forget it. Okay. And then the last one, number 10, sit the fuck down. Relax. Nobody cares. I know you're the host. I know it's at your house, but everyone knows how to make their own drinks. Everyone can figure out how to make their chili dog or put shit on a plate. If they have a problem with something, they will ask you. There's no reason to hover in the kitchen constantly, making sure everybody's got their shit together. There's no reason to do any of that stuff. People can find a fork. They will, if they can rinse off a serving spoon. These are your friends. You're having them over for a Super Bowl party or a Lord of the Rings party or for shuttlecock in the mouth. They are there and they know what's going on. You should be there watching the show, the game, everything as well. This is relaxation time for you. Yeah, no, you've done your prep work. You're probably tired. People will get it done. Do not worry and stop being a hostess or a host that goes over the top for this kind of stuff. It's not worth it, and you'll be even more exhausted, and it'll be for no reason. Nobody cares. They really don't. That's it. I mean, those are my 10 kind of rules for watching, for group watches. Now, you may have some good recipes, and I encourage all the listeners, watchers, and all that kind of stuff to chime in with recipes themselves that they think fall into this or that are really good. But you can find all those, and they should be simple. And again, nobody cares. You don't want to do anything with caviar or like truffle oil. You're doing stuff with canned chicken here, folks. This is not rocket surgery. Okay. So everybody relax. All right. Everybody got that? All right. So the chat section's like not working at all today. That is weird. Well, I guess it's going to be a lonely day on the interwebs for old Slink. Got my cigar. And I'm prepared to improvise. And speaking of improvising, I pre-planned this bit. So Speaking of improvising, I not too long ago on the Eat Drink page, I posted a post your top 5 favorite comedies. Stromboli is a great one. You can make it ahead of time. You heat it up. If it hits room temperature, thank you, Facebook user. If it hits room temperature, you're fine. Nobody cares. Stromboli is a great one. Excuse me. So, I started rewatching some of my favorite comedies, and then I got into like a little bit of a hole of improvisational comedies. Now it's a niche thing, and not too many people do it. And there's one guy or a group of people who specialize in this kind of film, and the main guy is Christopher Guest. Now I don't know if you guys know who he is. You may or may not have seen a few of his movies. I'm sure you've heard of a few. So the Christopher Guest films are improvised films. So what happens is they have a story. So the story starts here and it ends here, and these things happen along the way, but there's no dialogue scripted. There's no script to the film, and they're all shot documentary style. So a camera crew will interview the actors in the movie, and they'll just react, and they'll just talk amongst themselves, and there's no script. They just go. It's kind of like like if you were watching Whose Line Is It Anyway, and Drew said, now make a movie about dog shows, go. And that's how they do the movie. It's fascinating to me. So there are technically 6 Christopher Guest films, but I break them down into a couple different categories. Number 1 is This Is Spinal Tap, which is a movie about a fictional rock band, Spinal Tap, and a documentary about a tour of theirs. Now, this is where most of us first saw Christopher Guest and this kind of style of movie. It is one of my favorite all-time movies and might be my number 1 comedy. It's brilliant. It's more funny if you're a musician, but it's funny nonetheless. It does go to 11 Facebook user. Yeah, guys, again, if you're going to jump in on your message, put like Brandon Slinksitute page, it goes to 11 or something like that. So I know what pages are working and what ones aren't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not giving me names and it's not telling me where they're coming from. But yeah, it goes to 11. So that's Spinal Tap, which is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. But then there's like but that movie wasn't all Christopher Guest. That movie was a collaboration with Christopher Guest and Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, and Rob Reiner, and they all kind of like wrote it and directed it at the same time. It was really loose. They had about 40 hours worth of material. It was it was Brandon. There it is. So then there's the Guest films proper, and then there's 2 groups of this. Now, to me, there's a true Christopher Guest trilogy, and let's see. I think I have him here. Hold on. All right, so we already talked about Spinal Tap. Hilarious movie. But if you have not seen any of these, don't make it your first one that you watch, okay? Stand by on an order. All right, so then there's the Guest trilogy, which is Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, which is the one I think most people have seen. If there was one out of all of these that most people have seen, I think it's Best in Show, which is like the most critically acclaimed of them. And then A Mighty Wind. The lighting's weird on that. A Mighty Wind, which is about folk music. Now, that is the Guest trilogy proper, as far as I'm concerned. It's essentially those 3 movies have the same people. Oh, Jen's making Stromboli. Fantastic. Calzone, Stromboli. Stromboli's rolled. Calzone just folded. That's the difference between the 2. Calzone, take the pizza, fold it in half. Stromboli, roll it up like a burrito. So those are the three, I call them the proper guest trilogy. So you want that one. And then there's a movie called For Your Consideration, which is pretty good. It's for guest people only, though. It's a little more serious, not quite as funny. And then there's a film called Mascots, which came out just a few years ago, and that's only on Netflix, which is the weakest of them, still funny in its own way. So I recommend you guys see these movies. It is not only are they funny, but it's fascinating to know, and you'll see it as you watch it, because they almost break each other up because nobody knows what the other guy's going to say. The order that I would watch them is guest trilogy proper first. So you want to go Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Mighty Wind, then circle back to Spinal Tap. Then, if you're in love with this whole thing, For Your Consideration, and then Mascots. I think that these are like when I said like top 10 or top 5 favorite comedies, Spinal Tap made that list for me, but I think 6, 7, and 8 would be Guffman, Best in Show, and Mighty Wind. So totally check those out, guys. And you'll be fascinated. And if you get the DVDs, or if you're some sort of service that will give you some of the behind the scenes stuff or some of the outtakes, they're absolutely hysterical. It's totally rewatchable. So speaking of improvised, that's my movie pick this week. As you can see, I'm kind of doing the Eat, Drink, Be Merry thing as the show this time. Oh, what am I drinking? Glad you asked. Good old fashioned Two Hearted. That's it. Nice and simple today. Nothing special. And that's about. Oh, hold on, Grace, you're back. What's up? Oh no, honey, no, that doesn't look. No, you're gonna need some ointment or something, hon, or a salve. No, oh. No, that's, honey, I know you can't see it from that angle, but it shouldn't be that color, hon. Is it so? Oh. Okay. No, yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to alarm you, but this might be I don't think that Neosporin is going to do it here, hon. Excuse me, guys. I'm seriously thinking about that emergency room might be the. Oh no, honey, no. Nope. Yeah, that's gonna scab over, I think. No, you don't want to know what it looks like back there. You do not want to know. You do not want it. There is colors, honey. I don't even. Yeah, well, I'll wrap it up here and we'll get you. Let's head on over to emergency care, okay? I know you can't sit down. Just hang out there for a minute and we'll. Okay. All right. Yeah, get some ice on it or something, or heat. Probably ice. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Grace came back and. Whew. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. No, you guys. I'm glad you guys couldn't see that. That's There's some marks on her. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, it was going to be a quick show, just a solo one. Thanks for commenting, folks. I'm catching most of them. I think I got it figured out. I think there's a thing I have to dial in where I have to like give permissions for certain things, and then there might be a link that I have to send you guys that you give permission to. From Facebook to my streaming service to let your name come up, So I think by next week, I should have that figured out. And speaking of next week, I got some homework for you guys. Okay. So next week, my stepdaughter, Mackenzie, is going to be on, and we're going to be talking about some horror movies, 4 horror movies in particular. Now, these aren't horror movies like, slasher stuff or super gross or this is not a Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger type thing, and they're not, like supernatural and that kind of thing. These are 4 kind of psychological horror movies, and they're creepy and they're hard to watch. So if you're not a horror fan, this I'm giving you my you can pass on these because they're pretty freaky. Now there's 4 movies, but they're 2 movies each by 2 specific directors, and these are all very recent. So there's 2 movies by a guy named Ari Aster, and over the last 10 years or so, he's put out 2 of my favorite horror movies of all time, and he's put them out that recently. His 2 movies are Hereditary, which may be the one that most of you have seen, and if you've seen it, I encourage you to revisit it. And then his second film was a movie called Midsummer. It is a very super long, super involved psychological thriller. Don't get me wrong, there's some scary, gross shit going on, but those are the 2 movies by Ari Aster, and he's brilliant. And so check those out. Get a head start if you want to talk about those. And then the other director's name is Robert Eggers, and he in the last 10 years has put out another 2 of my favorite all-time horror movies. His 2 are The Witch, which is a period piece set in colonial times, and then a movie called The Lighthouse, which is another period piece about 2 guys running a lighthouse about the turn of the century. These movies, again, super creepy, super crazy, super psychological. It's essentially movies about people losing their shit. But Mackenzie and me are going to be talking at length about these next week. She had seen all of them except for The Lighthouse when I talked to her about doing the show. And she just recently saw The Lighthouse. She said she took notes because she had to, because the movie kind of like knocked her socks off. So again, these movies aren't for everybody. They are horror movies, and they're uncomfortable movies. They're movies to make you feel uncomfortable. So keep that in mind. And that will be next week. And that's it for this quick episode, this quick thing. We're going to go back to our regular format with guests and longer stuff and all that stuff next week. And that's about it. So thanks, everybody, for joining me today. I appreciate it. I'd like to thank Grace. Grace, we'll get you, honey. Yep. Just start the car. Yep. Okay. I'd like to thank Grace. Thank you guys for chiming in the chat. I will check the Facebook and YouTube comments to see which ones match up and to see if I can dial that in for next week. I appreciate it. And you'll notice I'm not wearing a hat today because somebody told me that hats were a meme and I should stop wearing hats. So fuck you guys. Hat for me. And we will see you guys next week with Mackenzie McNamara. Horror movie stuff. Thanks, everybody. See ya.